institution. And now, and I tell them our players all the time, the Tennessee State University football program is bigger than you. No one person makes that program up. And so we try to push those guys to be the best because we know the tradition that this program has and the tradition that we would like to see it maintained.
What about your schedule, Coach, in terms of looking over, I think that schedule has been finalized, and I'm not sure whether it has been published or whatever, but what about the schedule, since many folks will have an opportunity to see the show Sunday morning. What about your schedule here?
Well, we have 12 games scheduled at this point, and a lot of road games, but the important games are at home towards the end of the season. When we get into the conference, we'll open up with South Carolina State University in Orangeburg, and we'll come back and we'll play Prairie View in the John Muir Classic, which has been a great tradition for us to start off the season. Unfortunately, we won't be able to start off the season with the John Muir Classic this year. Then we'll go to Memphis in our annual Southern Heritage Classic versus Jackson State. Come back and we're scheduled to play Grambling in Las Vegas. Then we go to Atlanta and play Florida A&M in the Atlanta Football Classic, which has been a traditional game that we've played. And after we do that, then we'll get into our conference a little bit and we'll play Southeast Missouri in Cape Girardeau. And it's the first time we've been to Cape Girardeau in about 3 years, so that'll be interesting. Then we'll come back and we'll play Alabama A&M there for their homecoming. And after that, we'll have an off week, and then we get into the meat of our schedule. We'll open up with UT Martin for homecoming on October the 26th. Then we'll play Eastern Illinois at home. And then we'll go play Murray State. Then we'll come back and end the season with Tennessee Tech and Eastern Kentucky. And the Eastern Kentucky game is a Thursday night game in Adelphia. So we have a big task in front of us.
And all of these games, all these home games, will be played in Adelphia Stadium this year as last year.
Yes, all the home games will be played in Adelphia.
Now, you talked about the classics, and you talked about the heritage, and you talking about some of the more popular cities in the southern parts of the United States, Atlanta, and et cetera. Here you are able to draw some 60,000 and 70,000 persons for these particular games. Talk about that.
Well, it's a great time. We're able to, both of the classes that we go to traditionally, the Classic in Memphis and the Classic in Atlanta, they're equal distance between both the schools. In Memphis, it's 3 hours from Jackson, 3 hours from Tennessee State. Both schools have large alumni bases in the city of Memphis, and our fans like to travel. And anytime we get together along with the bands, it's just a great football atmosphere. Same with Florida A&M in Atlanta. It has been a traditional game for Tennessee State and Florida A&M to play. And I think a while ago we took a break for about 8 years, and the fans were eager to get it back. And once that game was reestablished, it has just taken off. And we've met in Atlanta and played for the last few years, and the fans have definitely came out, and the city of Atlanta has embraced it and come out. So I think that it's a good atmosphere for our young men to go and play in and get the opportunity to play in 2 major cities, one being a pro facility, but we play at a pro facility at home, so they get kind of used to that.
Okay, and they really do. And of course, Coach Reese, when you talk about the heritage, the classics, and et cetera, the last minute we have before we have this break, you're talking about not only a football game, but it seems that the whole city and all the entire region become involved in this kind of economic operation and enterprise and et cetera.
Those 2 games, the game in Memphis and the game in Atlanta, both cities have embraced both the games, and they have tremendous support, tremendous sponsorship, and they definitely have the people there, and they definitely come out and to see the teams play.
And so, Coach, we've got about a half minute left before we come to our third segment for today. And so let's sort of prepare you for what we'd like to do during this final segment, as well as to sort of give our audience some idea of where we're trying to go in terms of getting this information. Let's have you during this last segment to talk about some of your prospects and your stars, which is to say that certainly you've got some individuals out there that you think ought to be highlighted, and it will do them good to hear their names in this particular situation. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. Thank you and welcome back to this final segment of the show for today. The topic is the Tennessee State University Football Program 2002. And of course, we have with us the head coach of the Tennessee State University Football Program, Coach Reese. And of course, Coach Reese, we've got about 5.5 or 6 minutes during this last segment. And what we'd like to do is to give you an opportunity, as we indicated earlier, to talk about some of your stars and some of your prospects, but at the same time to say something about ticket sales and perhaps fan support and any other thing that you feel that you could get in within those few minutes.
Okay, let me start on the defensive side of the ball first. We have